Welcome to the Crypto Kingdom and Bitcoin Spike. We wanted to bring you some live action. This is London. We are currently coming into contact with the 200 exponential moving average on the 1 hourly time frame. So I brought that up in a video last night, and we have, guys, we have tried this level. Let's just look at this. We have tried this specific level, and shout out to all the VIP guys. We hope you're having a good start to your year. It's 2022. If it's as good as 2021, we're going to have a blast. I have to tell you that. We're going to have a really good time. We had a great time in 2021. Shout out to Angel Matos on the top right. #1 contributor, $500 super chat king. Shout out to Josh, our $1 million champ. What is up, guys? What's up, VIP, etc.? If you can shout out to me in the chat, let me know what's going on so I know who is in the room. We're going to go through the details. Just a real interesting moment. We have been 15 different times. We counted that up last night, guys. 15 different times, okay? 15 different times since 69,000. We have been in this situation where essentially we have been rejected. Let's look at the hourly time frame. Just real interesting because we're up about 2.19%. Some of your alts are gaining some speed. You guys are booking some trades or you're in the money. Matic is doing well. Let me see what else is doing well. Matic. I have a good long history with Matic, up 12.69%. Would be a first for Matic. I have to say this, guys. It would be a first for Matic, okay? First time that we would pick up on is very interesting. On this line of support, with just a single hit, guys, Matic may just be taken off to the upside. Normally, it gives traders a double hit along the support. Just want to bring this up because we have a good history with Matic. So this would be the one time, okay, the theory of alternation, right? Just kind of a surprise event. Bam, just single hit to the upside, up 12.69% since that hit on the actual line here. Let's look at that, guys, up 21% to the upside. Can it do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Guys, it's going to be into super trend territory again, potentially. So we're looking forward to seeing how Matic works out. Ample doing very well. I had brought that to the community. Very excited to see Ampleforth doing well. It's up 16.28% today. Really brought this to your attention because look at this chart. We love trading things that look like this. Look at the solid line of support along the bottom, guys. Look at all of the volatility here. Some of these moves, just look at the for a trade perspective, just trading. Some of the moves, standard moves, 100% in here. Bam, bam, bam. Say 25 to 50 to 100% maximum. 16.27% to the upside today. Rose doing very well with a mid-level. I know it washed out a lot of shorts. It had to, absolutely. Rose just going to the upside. We covered Rose earlier on, guys. We definitely brought Rose, in this zone here. We brought Rose to the community here, right in this area, and bam, to the upside. It's recovered quite well. And then again here, guys, bam, just with a mid-level hit to the upside. 16.25% today. Phantom also doing well. Phantom just wanting to push along this top side. It's an interesting play. I just love to see Phantom recover the way it does. Shout out to AJ Crypto. Exited right here, bam, right at the top of Phantom. Very, very nice. AJ Crypto, hope you're doing well. All the VIP, I hope all of you are doing really well, okay? Let me know if the music is too loud or how we are on the music, etc. We'll get back into Bitcoin. We'll talk about Harmony 1 is doing well, pushing on a daily bull flag. Very interesting. Daily bull flags are rare, right? I mean, if anything can do it, Harmony 1 may be able to, but just looking at Harmony 1, look at this, guys. Bam. Nice bull flag indicated on the daily. Had to bring that to your attention today. Hope you guys are trading well. Be careful on the volatility of Harmony 1. Look at that. Once we go to the candle wicks, it really gets aggressive in here. So pay attention to the daily, but also pay attention to those specific candle wicks, please. And let's dig into. Let me see what we have here. There we go. Okay, good sound check. Just had to do a sound check real quickly. Let's get back into Bitcoin real quickly. Let's go to Bitcoin up 2 point. Let's look at this, guys. Up 2.16%. Now, in terms of the daily, we're about to run into this crowded mess here guys, the crowded mess is going to be of, let's just look at this real quickly, of these EMA bands, right? Those are a nemesis. On the hourly, however, that's on the daily. On the hourly, we're about to come into contact with the key feature, right? The key feature. Now, first of all, it's lined out, and remember, guys, the trend is your friend, right? That specific indicator. Brought it to you last night. You see the green and the red. Kind of some nice indicators if you guys are looking to trade, etc. Some nice indicators there on trend is your friend. Real easy. Just double click, and you guys know. Go look. The trend is your friend. Real easy. Make sure you guys are watching this on a big screen TV. That'd be great. Would appreciate that very much. But as we looked at last night, like the key indications here are the following. Since 69,000, right? Look at the way that these EMA bands are just pouring down through. Bam, 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 bam. We can change the color of this. Why don't we change the color of the purple? Let's go with a really bright color so we can definitely see that. Yeah, I think we can see that pretty well. That's nice. It's kind of that aqua blue, right? Really since 69,000. I mean, have we gotten above it? One time, really, did we operate above it at all? And as we look at it, just, we'll count through this again. It would be a huge milestone achievement for us to really break through that 200, okay, exponential moving average, because guys, we've rejected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got up above it, and there's 2 in here which didn't really even make it up there. So a prior rejection here in this area too, just along the 100. So about you're gonna find about 15 rejections, guys. 15 rejections and 1 operation above the EMAs. Okay, to the extent you would count this as a rejection, a lower rejection like this, you may even come up with more rejections, right? But we're talking about in along that line of the 100, right? The 100 or that 200, which is now in kind of that aqua color, right? So we do have kind of a trend reversal. I'd say the trend is your friend indicator on just some different things to kind of visually help you guys as you look at the pricing. And let's dig into the 5-minute. Let's see what's going on with these lower time frames. We have some nice charts floating around in the back for the VIP. Shout out to Jacob. Shout out, brother. You're awesome, man. You got the mojo working. I like your style. You get in a trade, you got your stop loss. It doesn't work next. Period. Just that's it. Very unpredictable market. You know that. It's just nice to see you operate. Good to see you trading, right? Just next, like leave the price action for a while. Jacob is a heck of a trader. Really enjoy being around him. He's got the right mentality. Just keep throwing at it. Just if the market maker wants to take your money tonight, cool. I'll be back tomorrow. Just real plain and simple, right? I like that attitude quite a bit. That's VIP. Definitely VIP. It's awesome, man. Let's talk about. And Freddie, congrats, brother. Hope you're doing well. We'll do some profile photos, etc. Here in a little bit. But we're going to talk about this 5-minute for just a little bit. Let me see if I've got some other charts that I've been showing you guys. Seeing a nice curvature, a rounding, formation here. Wanting that to kind of stick. That's on the hourly, thinking like, okay, that's, it's a rounding formation. We just, it's just nothing has wanted to really stick beyond those EMAs. So to the extent that can operate as kind of a reversal, that's great. To the extent that we're just kind of capped out, guys, at $42,692, about that $43,000 range. It just has been tough, right? As we would look at candle wicks, let's just raise the candles here a little bit. And looking at this range, it's been 1, 2, 3, really 4 rejections at that $43,000 range. They're about $42,900. What we could say, and I brought this to the attention of the VIP, just very interesting. The market's continually doing this to us. It's just, it's going to invite you to trade a pattern that it just failed, right? It's going to show you that it just failed a pattern, then it's going to invite you to trade it, right? So the pattern trading has been difficult, I'll say that, and not that you would ever shy away from like the technical patterns, what they are, what they express. When you're like 15 to 1 up against a line of, up against an exponential moving average, you're 15 to 1 or your odds. It's like, I'll play at another table, right? We'll figure something else out for a minute. Let's watch everybody else play this table for a minute, right? Well, the shorts are interesting right now. I'll say that, and to the extent that it ingrains that in the market, just be ready, right? As soon as it ingrains in the market, this EMA will hit 15 times. You got 15 to 1 odds in your favor. Just be prepared, right? It's the market's always pretty good at doing that stuff. So as we look at this left shoulder head and the right shoulder, right reversal pattern here, failed, right? We did break out of that in this same zone that's on the 5-minute, right? So yeah, we broke out of that. Anticipation traders getting involved, bam and wham, right back down into. So we're being shown exactly the pattern that we just failed. We just failed an inverse head and shoulder. So is it time to just hit at it again? This is the psychology of the market right now. It's just, they say it's a tough market. It's like, here, look where you just lost money. You ready for it again? Right? I mean, people who wanted to trade that, right? So the bears have been leading the bunch. If you guys are naturally just bearish and if that's what you're into, right? Maybe you've been doing extremely well. I know people have gotten involved in shorts, though. It's been the price action whipsaw is just ripping back and forth quite a bit. You've had to really be patient and be willing to risk probably beyond your stop loss. I'd say your comfort zone in your stop loss. And you guys know that. So it's just been that's just been the market. We don't have a real strong, a trend to the upside that we can really count on. We have some, just some. I always think of this when we're trying to go up or trying to go down. Just look sideways, right? Look, just back up and look at the 5-minute chart, right? We're still sideways, right? We're up today. Yeah, we're up. What is it? 2.04%, right? To 42,673. But as soon as we start getting excited about we're going up, okay, dig into the 5-minute and look at where we're at. Well, we're still sideways, right? Yeah, so big pour down yesterday satisfied that head and shoulders. Congrats to anybody who traded that, who watched the stream. And, just going to shout out to you guys. Whatever you have in the chat, let me know what you have in terms of the actual, I don't know, any coins you're looking at, anything else. Let me know how I can be of service today to you guys in charts, etc. So there we go. Let me just adjust the music just a touch. If the desktop audio is too much, you let me know. Wanted to talk about something interesting today. The Fed got together, right? The market responded pretty well in terms of the information that was released. Seemed like the market was ready for it. If it was sell the rumor, buy the event, I don't think that applies. I saw something on Forbes. Someone was saying that, yeah, sell the rumor, buy the event. I'm like, I don't think that really applies in this situation. One thing that didn't also apply as well was essentially like the January effect, right? We look for the January effect in stocks, right? Typically, the January effect in the equities, et cetera, just from our studies, et cetera, we know we would expect like stocks to do well in January. Typically, you'll see that people will want to like liquidate positions towards the end of the year, right? Towards December, et cetera. Well, they're going to sell things off to pay for taxes, et cetera. We didn't really see that much in December. I just say that in terms of like liquidations for tax purposes, et cetera. We were still up on the market. I believe S&P was up, as I recall, 4 or 5%, something like that. So as we look at that in the expected typical January effect, I just say in the market overall because I pay attention to the market, right? Not financial advice. You guys go to your broker there with J.P. Morgan or whomever, Schwab or whoever you decide to trade with. But as we would look at how the equity is going to do in January, typically there's like that January effect. We look at it like, people are willing to buy back in after they sold out in December, the preceding year, and we're going to expect that big, that run up in January. Well, December was relatively strong, right? It wasn't really bad. So to the extent that we were up in December, and we've experienced a little bit of rattling here in terms of the interest rates. It's kind of changed the standard equation that we look at because, I don't know, Bitcoin has been rattled by the Fed. It just has been a little bit with the talk of interest rates. A few real down days in the market we've just seen, and just paying attention to it, right? Just seeing Bitcoin just, having to really hold its own and having some difficulty with some real downward pressure. I think talk of interest rates is something that is real new to Bitcoin, right? So it's just, it's different territory that we're walking through with digital currency. It's an exciting time. It's a good thing that we're walking through it. We have to I guess that we would have to cross this bridge at some point. I don't know, guys. Interest rates, are they really going to go up? I mean, small hikes, I get it, but are we going to anticipate that people are going to have competitive returns? I just say me as an individual in like a money market account. Oh, I want to keep my money in a cash money market account. I'm going to get 0.00025% a year. All right. So it's been like that for a while. It's difficult for them to create a competitive marketplace in like a money market or in a bond, etc. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the Fed can handle that situation and what all does occur. So we're looking at, let me take care of this head and shoulders, kind of this just uninviting pattern. We just failed one head and shoulders. Let's just look at the magnitude of essentially this move that we have going on here. We had a pretty solid move. We can kind of make an analogy here right now, and I just want to draw this out. If you're long or short, try and just look at the market right now objectively. Let's do that. We have a little price action, so take a step back. Let's try and look at the market a little bit objectively right now. Okay, let's get a rotated triangle out, and let's do this right here. Okay, let's try and formulate something like this. Okay, now we'll talk about a continuation effect would be an interesting, a necessary part of the discussion. Now, we could, formulate something and frame something kind of in line with this. Okay, now I would go to let me go to the 4 hourly so we can essentially see what we're looking at. Okay, now in terms of kind of, a channel formation to the downside, right? What would we anticipate in terms of the kind of continuation effect at the preceding zone here. This was back in September, right? Nice move to the upside. Really got vertical very quickly. That's one thing. We didn't have to guess a lot, right? We just got vertical. Bam, up and out. So as we look at the current, you know, if we're looking for a comparative, let's say if we look left, right? Just look left. What are we doing now? Well, look left. Let's see what we can do. Zoom in, zoom out, etc. We had this channel formation here, right? Resistance, generalized support, right? As part of a bull flag. I'm just going to say that was part of a bull flag. Okay, as we would look at that, we had a run up, and the more consolidated, you guys, the higher on the time frame that we get, we're going to see essentially a bull flag at that level. So a little bit different as we would. Let me go ahead and draw in this bull flag here. Right there we go. We had a bull flag right there. We had a bull flag here. This is on the daily chart for Bitcoin. Then we just essentially repeated that structure here, right? So yeah, it was, it had more of a curvature to it. It had more of that Elliott wave expression, right? The nice rounding that we looked at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that ABC, right? We had that, but essentially we were in the construct of a bull flag. So I just want to bring that up as we would draw this analogy and go through these analytics. Technically, it's just important for us to do that. Let me go to the 4-hourly again, so we can at least reframe this issue, because I think it's worth us spending some time on as we're coming into contact potentially on the 1-hourly. Let's check on that again. As we're potentially, and I turned that to aqua, that 200, right? That 200 average. Let's go ahead and look and see where have we come to. Yeah, we just smacked right into it, right? That has been the level. I talked about the 100 and the 200. I'll turn this back purple because that was the original color. Yeah, it was the original color on the, I'm not sure how purple it was. I don't know, guys. It doesn't matter, but I mean, now I'm going to mess up their indicator. I did not make this indicator, for the record. All right, so as we would look at this, I think it's a decent indicator, though. It's not bad, showing you the 100 exponential moving average. I chose the exponential. And then this, which we talked about last night, as being two levels of the key primary levels of resistance, right? So this has come into play. That 200 has come into play. That's important because it matches up with the entirety of this of the price action. Since I say save one event, right? Save one really operation up and beyond that 200, right? So we will let me move this over, but you'll just just to remind ourselves, in 69 you can just see it's so clear, right? In terms of this, it's just been, it's been a lock. We haven't, and it's, I don't want to say it's been unfair. It's just it's exceeded the expectations of traders. I just say that in terms of trading, that we're really looking at. Well, we're going to be able to break out and have something, right, as we do the diagnostics of just standard diagnostics that we would look at in terms of preceding zones, etc. It's just we haven't dealt with anything as difficult as the Fed. As the Fed and the interest rates, also Austria at the top, taxation, Iceland's shutting down, right? The mining. These are some fundamentals that have come into play, right? We had Austria at the top, just bam, we're going to tax your Bitcoin. Okay, you got it. You're going to tax the Bitcoin, got it. Then it was China. Again, China, right? And it was Iceland, oddly enough. Iceland's a pretty big deal, right? I mistakenly called them Finland, but I get those two confused sometimes. I just, one is like the other sometimes to me. I know they're very different, though, so I should shout out to both of those places and commend them for who they each are. But Iceland's a big deal in terms of technology. You guys know that, etc. So for them to restrict mining along with China, boom, so that's a big, that was a big deal. Then what do we have in here? Peruskis, that's right, Russians, the Russian bank saying, possibly we're going to prohibit anyone from buying Bitcoin or crypto. Alrighty, that's not exactly what we needed, right? So that's in flux right now. As we look at the daily, that's probably a little bit better demonstrated in terms of the actual pattern formation that is going on in and around this specific area. Russia saying maybe, right? Just maybe, right? We might do that. So at some point it may have to do with how good of an investment. Yes, there are other implications, but how good of an investment do they think that or do they assess cryptocurrency to be? I think it's interesting that during the time wherein Russia said we might prevent our citizens from investing into Bitcoin, right? They had a fallback here. If we were going to say they were going to look at things technically, right? There was an expression of a rising wedge, which needs to be discussed, right? They essentially said that after we had broken out of a rising wedge, broken down from a rising wedge, right? A very bearish pattern. So it's interesting that their decision, or at least their commentary in this area, coincides well with the technical expression, essentially to the downside, that we would be entering into kind of a bearish territory here. So I think that's to be noted. The fallback, the catch, would be at this lower level potentially. Now you're going to have some variation here. Where would you start your trend? This is on the daily chart. I've gone to the candles, the red and blue that you see. They're candles. I've just switched it up a bit here. Sorry about that. As we look at this, we may have a catch. We may say, okay, great, we're on the catch line now for what? For a larger expression, a larger ascending wedge, right? That would be a really extended ascending wedge. We would look forward to participating in this zone. Difficulty being what? Difficulty being this specific line right here. Now, this is in play right now. We've been talking about this line since we talked about the bull flag, right? This cross line here of resistance. It became a cross line of resistance when we had the resistance to support identified in this area. That confirmed it as cross resistance, right? So that's an interesting dynamic going on in terms of kind of where we're, I don't want to say pinned in, but the price is just, it's below, this is the key feature, right? One key feature, it's below this line of cross resistance, right? To support, it's fallen back down below. That's kind of like a warning zone. I just tell you, it's a real, as we talk about that bull flag, let's just go into, I'll make that real bright as well. But as we talked about that bull flag, it's just, this is not where you want to be on a bull flag. You guys know that, right? In terms of the entirety of the bull flag, it was a nice expression on the daily, right? Absolutely. Nice expression on the daily. You don't want to be tucked back down underneath a line of what should be support. You don't want to fall back into this zone on a bull flag. If you trade them quite frequently, which I know you guys do, you do not want to fall back in underneath on a bull flag. You just don't, right? So we'd have to stretch this out a bit. We'd have to really get into, I don't know, essentially it's like, well, is this a bull flag? Is it on the daily, etc.? I mean, you could argue, all day long in terms of it not being a bull flag. I like that a lot. If you show that to me without this part, and I liked it right in here, once it had formulated the resistance to support. You guys know I was the one who was calling this out in this zone here. So yeah, it played real well since then. We like that formation a lot. So to the extent that we have capitulated beyond this prior support, it's just that's not where you want to be, right? In terms of the any continuation to the upside, it becomes difficult as a trader. You guys know that's like, yeah, that's no-go zone. I mean, you're going to pick this up now? Like, yeah, we just got that, right? And, that was maybe a fake out, etc., right? I guess you could call that a fake out. Pretty good expression of positive pricing just to call it a fake out. A fake out maybe would have been up in this area. So it really got going, except for that regulation by Austria to have come in the mix. But yeah, this is not where we want to be ideally, right? It's just not in terms of positive pricing, right? Up 2.3% to 42,783. Let's dig into the 5-minute again. And again, as we start talking about going up and down, I just want to reframe it in terms of like, let's go side to side, because it's been in this range from really 39.7 up to 42.8, right? Up to really, let's see the maximum expression here, up to about 43.5. It's been in this zone here. Let's just talk about for how long and measure this out. About 5 days and 21 hours. That's nice. It's kind of a step down below in this. Let's certainly identify this cross trend line. That cross trend line is going to be crucial. So let's really line that out on the chart so we can see. I think that's the biggest line of resistance that we have, right? In terms of what, for Bitcoin to really go up and power through, you're going to have to break back out of this line again, right? Of this level of resistance. It's just going to be, it's tough, right? If you trade bull flags, you guys know it's like, yeah, that's not nice, right? To be hemmed in at this level. We could be part of a bullish expression in terms of a falling wedge, etc. We can draw this out however we'd like to. That's a difficult Yeah, as you see falling wedges, let's just say, as you see falling wedges, typically not complete fully to the upside. This one would, potentially say, okay, great, we're going to go to 52,000, 52,003. Were this wedge to complete back to the top of the wedge, well, you have got one heck of a line of resistance here, right? Just huge, that cross trend line. So just bear in mind that that is just sitting there. Right? That's a big level. And it's big for a few different reasons. Yes, because of the previous resistance to, yes, support. These two hits make it a big deal in terms of this cross-trend line of resistance. Being confirmed, though, here would be the key feature in my estimation here. The fact that this level carved in so heavily, it is definitely just adding to that pressure along that line of prior support to resistance. It's just not it's not real welcoming. Now, can Bitcoin do it? Sure. A lot of people at this point or have been through the 15. I just tell you, have been through these 15, incidences here with the moving average, etc. 15 different patterns that have tried to break out on the micro levels, etc. 15 different patterns that be like, nope, now we're not going anywhere. I put some dominoes in the back, literally, because and I think this is just funny. It's just kind of appropriate. I put the dominoes in the back. Where are the dominoes? Where are the dominoes? I don't know where I put it. There I go. I mean, because literally, it's been like this for the traders. Just set them up and just knock them down. I mean, it's just been continuous. So that's been the 15-to-1 ratio that we're looking at. Okay, so in terms of playing a breakout trade right now, of course it's there, right? The breakout is there, 15-to-1. I mean, the last 15 breakouts have been they're there, and then they're not there, right? So that's just that's what the market has been providing us. Has there been some dynamic shift in the market today? I don't think so. Just expected volatility, 2.39% to the upside. That's good. 42,823. We would love to recapture this top level, as I talked about the last 5 days or so in this zone, right? We spent quite a while. We spent 32 days in this level between 45,000 and 52,000, 45 to 52 or thereabout, guys. That's a much more, I don't know, much more friendly sounding level right now, right? So that would be great to be able to recapture that. Let's go ahead and just lay this out right here. Sure, that'd be fantastic for us to recapture that. Okay, kind of dealing with the issue on the hourly and the 4-hourly, essentially, that we're trying to kind of build off of a poorly built, I'd say, bear flag, right? It's expanding a bit. The candles tell a different story, but that's that's part of what we're digging into right now. I think a lot of the traders are just looking at the possibility here of another wedge breakout. So in terms of the rounding feature here, the double bottom, etc., not to be too cautious, right? Not to just say, well, everyone should just wait. That's not the idea. You guys are in position, right? You understand the hurdles, you understand the resistance and the support. We're at a level of resistance right now. So that's kind of what I wanted to come live, and that level of resistance is nice right now because it coincides with on the line. If you go to the hourly chart, please do this on your computers if you guys are watching right now. Go to the hourly chart if you guys have the trend is your friend on right now. You'll see that this specific line of resistance, very interesting level right now. This line of resistance here with the hit and the hits here along the line chart on the hourly. All right, this is TradingView Premium Pro Edition. You can use TradingView, any edition. I think this will work, okay? In terms of live pricing, we prefer the Pro Edition. So as we would look at this here, or the Premium Edition, whatever they're called, as we look at the hit here, these two hits here, right, if you have this specific indicator on anything that'll demonstrate to you the 200 exponential moving average, you'll see that this line here, which is the 200, is right now also at a very interesting moment, a very interesting time kind of move for Bitcoin, because that specific line of resistance, that 200, is exactly, it's just precisely at the top line resistance of this wedge. So it really gives some character and build out to this pattern that we're currently looking at. It's like, well, yeah, that is a line of resistance, and I don't know, it kind of completes the story technically for us, because it's not just because it's a hit on the line chart, right? Well, we have hit 1, hit 2, or 3, right straight down. Well, that's going to be the line of resistance. It is, right? But the point is, it's not just a line of resistance on the line chart. It's a line of resistance technically with that 200 exponential moving average on the hourly. So that's really nice to have that confluence in terms of seeing the visual representation of the price line and having that technical indication in terms of the measurement also being the resistance, which has been just and yes, it's a resistance right now, but we can put it into some context with the preceding 60-plus days since 69,000, and we can say, well, let's look at how that's specific, not just how this wedge formation is supposed to play. This is what I like about the confluence here, that we get to really delve into this. Follow me just a minute here if you can, okay? Not just it's a falling wedge, it's a bullish pattern, because that's great. Okay, everybody's just, let's hammer into it, right? Yeah, no, let's think about this. What the indicator's telling us right now in terms of the 200 exponential moving average is it's giving us some sort of an insight as to, how that level may play out if we do look at the 200 moving average, exponential moving average, that purple line previously here too. We can even look at the 100. We can see a little bit of operation above it on the 100 and drop down into. We can look at this exponential moving average on the purple line, the 200, right on the hourly. We see, some operation up above it, and then bam, operation above the 200, right here, and above the 100, and then bam, right? Here we go, above the 100, bam. Above the 200, barely, but you're seeing this. What I want to identify now is we're seeing some operation above that 200, right? If we get into that at this level, which seems very ordinary as we review the price action, right? It's operating above the 200, a little bit above the 200, carving in and dropping, carving in and dropping, carving in and dropping. Right? If we go through another one of those episodes here, it's not going to just be a normal carve in and drop. It's going to be something that's going to be difficult because we're in the expression of the falling wedge. So the anticipation of the traders is, well, once again, 15 to 1. Those are the last 15 patterns, etc. That yes, well, now we're breaking out of a falling wedge. Now we have a pattern to play into. I just want you guys to be aware. Just be aware, at least in terms of your exposure, etc. Don't ever be afraid to trade, but always have heavy backup reserve capital ready just to power into it. Guys, always heavy reserve capital, right? People who don't play with that don't have a great time. I'll just tell you that. Okay, it's just not. It's just not the way I see the VIP doing well, etc. It's the guys with the heavy backup capital that are throwing into it and really compounding in, hitting it with 3 to 5 times their position, bam, bam. Those are the guys that are having fun. Those are the guys that are doing well. So in the context, I think that is a very interesting dynamic that we bring up right now. And that, you guys will play it the way you'll trade it. You'll trade it the way you'll trade it. I just want you to be aware of the. It's a nice technical. It's a nice analysis that we're able to go through right now. Up 2.17%, 42,745. Each day it seems like we're up 2%, we're down 3 or 4%, we're up 4%, we're down. The up 3 or 4%, I'd say 4 or 5%. We've been waiting for that, right? We had more of that in this level here. Quite a bit of volatility right in and around December, like towards Christmas time. It was nice, a little bit of a pump to the upside. A little bit more volatility here. It's been really tight here recently, really tight, right? More amplitude in these moves. Back in December, you guys remember that, up 8%. That's nice. 8%, that'll work. Right now we're just constricted. The 2% feels kind of normal. The 3 or 4% seems kind of normal, but it is Bitcoin. I'll say that. So to the extent that you're looking for a breakout trade here, I just want you guys to be able to do the analysis. We've done the analysis, right? Not only is it a breakout here, resistance, right? That we would want to, essentially for this to operate. It's a bullish pattern by design, right? Okay, any falling wedges by design, a bullish pattern. Just understand, as we have frustrated along different breakouts, not to dismiss this pattern. It's still technically bullish, right? Technically in the market, this is a bullish formation. Just understand that the line of resistance represented along the price line on the hourly is also indicative of right now just an absolute head-on collision with the 200. So it's a nice confluence here because the price has shown us, the pricing dynamic has shown us a tendency to carve up and above that 200 and drop down. Carve up and above that 200 and drop down. Boom, right, boom. So just be aware of that potential here, because we would call it, in hindsight, we say, well, everyone got faked out. Well, I mean, really, it would be this as a very similar expression. Like, I would love to recoup this territory to the top. I'm absolutely, to establish some positive pricing and a furtherance of the range, get into a better pattern formation. Was this head and shoulders something that's just going to loop back through? It does that, right? The pricing does that, right? If you're carrying position right now, No problem. If you'd like to go into this, if I were to hear, well, VIP such and such, he went in, he's going to slam into this, but he's prepared with maybe 5 times the amount to catch it back here and really heavy reserves back here. That's fine. Of course, trade, enjoy yourselves, right? Don't ever shy away from the market. Just don't get overexposed or overexcited. One of these hype events. We're breaking out. Okay, you're breaking out along an exponential moving average here, which is frustrated and is capitulated multiple times, like 15 times. You've touched that zone and you've capitulated. So just put it in context. Keep things breathable. How about that? Okay. In terms of the TA that you guys get, whatever the next exciting moment is, just keep things breathable. I'll just say that whoever's talking to you, if they can't breathe at all, it's okay. They're trying to generate hype. I've tried to do that before. And it's not always the easiest, or I don't know. It's not the best thing in the world to do. What do we got? Yo, what's up with Doge, huh? JC in the house with Doge. That's nice, huh? You liking the Doge? That's good. That is definitely good. Let's see. Doge not doing bad, huh? What's Doge doing? You see the spike Doge went through? What happened with Doge? Who let the Doge out, huh? I have no idea, huh? Doge, 17%? Come on, man. Come on. Get real, huh? 17%? Gonna let those day traders make that cash? I mean, what was this back here? We have to talk about it, huh? I'm sitting here almost, wanting you guys to brag about Ample that I brought that to you, 17%, 42% on Doge. Come on, man, that's a little crazy, huh? 20% here, 40%, 50%. What is this? Is Doge? What is Doge doing, huh? That's recent. 40%. That's in the last month. That's not bad, huh? People just gonna be focusing on Doge, I think, huh? We got some real good traders that love Doge. That's the way it goes. I don't know why. Look at this back up here. What is this? It just has a way of just paying people. 45% there. Does Doge have this hidden little? I don't know, guys. Does it have a hidden program function somewhere to where it just wants to reward you 30 or 40% along the way? I have no idea. Looks like it could be doing something like that. It just does, doesn't it? It's up 5.73% today. A lot of volatility on this. Yeah? Some of these coins are getting so low. They are getting so low. Let's go into the alternative chart here. I want to go into this for Doge and just look at how on the daily, look how low we have been on that RSI. Let me go ahead and erase the drawings real quickly. You see that purple zone is the RSI on the 30. So you'll see we're just parked, bam, trying to pick up from the 30 on the RSI. To the extent that you use RSI as a reversal indicator, also explore it. Yes, it can be reversal, boom, reversal here. It can also be used as a momentum indicator to show that people are selling, boom, down further into selling. So there's a split in terms of the opinions as to whether or not RSI should be used as a reversal indicator or should it be used as a momentum indicator. Sometimes you'll see it push on up and up and up, right? So always be aware of those distinctions in the market. Always pay attention to what other people aren't paying attention to. Well, the RSI is at 30. Oh, it's a reversal, right? Well, or it's indicative of momentum. That means people are selling. They're driving into they're hitting the sell button with some force, right? So pay attention to that, right? Those dynamics, right? That's what distinguishes us, hopefully, from the overall market. So here we sit with this 200 exponential moving average. And I just thought it was good to come live because we talked about this last night. Showed a little bit of frustration, quite a bit actually of frustration. Anyone who shorted after last night got into this. Yeah, you made some cash at that level. And this is right when things start to get a little bit interesting, right? And yeah, JC, I think you were in a short. You got a little frustrated with it. I saw you. I think it bored you more than anything else. Like, I don't want to sit here for 4 hours and watch my trade work out. But it's, what is that? A couple percentage points. Not a huge move. Had a huge move on Monday morning. Bam to the downside. That was a nice dig down. Wasn't it 6% down? Yeah, when it gets deep in red like that, it looks good, in terms of the overall market. When it just, fire sale territory, we pay attention to it, right? What levels is it hitting? Trying to prepare ahead of time for those situations. So, I think the hourly is the best expression right now. Just, I know you guys appreciate that. Let me look at the chats real quickly. EGLD, no torque. What's up, no torque? Early afternoon stream going to be a tough one to watch and not get caught at work. What's up, dude? Good, man. What's up, No Torque? Good to see you, brother. It's been a while, huh? No Torque in the house. And so, yeah, I just wanted to stream a little bit, get some, because I wind up doing this work anyway, and I know the VIP in the back we're trading anyway, so sometimes we're just like, all right, let's go ahead and stream and we can talk about things. If you have specific questions, you can hit me up in the DM, etc. We can kind of go through exclusive chat, and for people that don't really belong in here, I wind up just removing them from the exclusive from the channel, right? We remove them, right? We had some guy show up the other day. He just starts bragging about how much money he has. I'm like, what? That's not VIP, man. You just show up. Like, I don't care what crypto you have, right? But it's like, would you just show up at a channel and be like, I don't care if it's like Swiss francs. You know, I have $14 billion in Swiss francs. It's like, okay, that's nice. Who are you? What do you do? How are you? You know, it's like none of that. Like, people show up like, I have 100 million Harmony One. I've held them. I have held them. All right. Well, what does that mean? You're like, you wouldn't just show up. Show up in a room. I have 14 billion, US dollars in Swiss francs. Like, who are you? Like, like, what's the big deal? It's the same thing, right? It's like, okay, good. You have that many Harmony One. Cool, right? But it's a currency, right? I thought of that the other day after the guy got kicked out. He's like, he probably thought that's so unfair. I was just, bragging about your financial position and a cryptocurrency. It's like, okay, that's just not who we are, right? We'll get excited, right? We'll celebrate each other's victories, right? But you wouldn't just show up in a room like, I have $14 billion in Swiss francs. Like, okay, that's cool. That doesn't get you in our club, right? It's just a trading group, right? It's just a VIP group, right? We like to be respectful towards people. It doesn't really matter what your position is. It's like, I'm more interested like how you got there, and are you interested in technical analysis, right? The guy who brags about having, half a billion dollars in Harmony One, I look at him and say, oh, you held the whole time. Wow, huh? So you could have $1 billion. You have half a billion. You could have $1 billion, right? Is that the story? You want us to get that out of it? So, anyway, we'll just talk about those other issues that put a smile on everybody's face. Other than, I don't want to be negative. I never try and be negative. But don't just show up and, don't show up with this crew, huh? I have $15 billion in Swiss francs. Okay, like the last guy, you guys saw that last stream. He's like, I have 500,000 Harmony One. I'm like, all right, I'm about to kick you out, right? Just show up here and brag about what you have. Like, I never even heard from you. There's no contribution to your community. Like, I've done more hours, not just me. Like, do something nice for the community. Like, why don't you why don't you hit the super chat button like Angel has and been like, hey, you've done you've done 5,000 hours of watchable videos on Harmony One. It's like, no, I have all. Anyway, just go count your Swiss francs. Have fun. Non-VIP. Not to be too exclusive or rude. We don't want to be rude, but we definitely want to. I gotta put the foot down, huh? That foot's a boot. It's got a heel on it too. I gotta put that down for VIP. So it's inviting us, Bitcoin is inviting us a little bit to go through and do a little bit of, let's see this. I don't think of that. People are working right now. That's all right. That's all right. A little bit of a pennant in action. All right, let's see what we got on the 1 minute. I'm just hesitant. Anytime I see one of these in formation, I'm just hesitant. Right now, the pennant would get us up and out of the wedge. Right into territory along the line of resistance. Interesting moment, right? Interesting time for Bitcoin. Slow dog. Look at this. Hour and 54 minutes we may have to get through this specific pattern. But this is a good ID on essentially the target, right? We have established our target. We know what we're up against right now on the hourly, right? And let's go ahead and measure that out on the 5 minutes so we know where that would lead us. That's going to be a messy. That's the level of resistance above on that wedge. Interesting. Let's go and just measure this out. If it wanted to play like a bull pennant to the upside, let's get into that. Just smack dab into those cross trend line resistance. Look at this, guys. Just would hammer tank the entirety of this cross trend line. Bam, bam. So that's what we're looking like we would be trading into. Okay. We would be trading into that. Look at that. I have no idea why that just trading into that. Huh? You guys want a trophy? How about that? I'll give you guys a trophy. You want to trade into that? You win that? I'll give you a trophy. I'll put your name on the bottom instead of this. Funny. As I just popped up. But anyway, I'll put your name on the bottom of it instead of Tesla NFT style. It will be for you if you decide to hammer into this. That's just funny. Into this specific line of resistance, right? We like to buy at support, sell at resistance, right? So this would be buying into resistance. You can do it. Hey, to each his own. If you want to do that, if you win it, if you get it, I will give you the NFT. I will do the NFT, and it'll be a big trophy with your name on it, okay? It'll have VIP on the cup and everything else if you guys want that, all right? And don't do it just because I'm going to give you the NFT, but that's about what I feel like. Just hammering into a resistance like that, right? It's just not we buy it support, we sell it resistance, right? Yeah, we buy it support, we sell it resistance. Let me get a sip of coffee real quickly. Hold on one second. All right. That's funny. I just, for some reason, the other screen, I just lit up that trophy. But it is almost like that, right? Because you want to buy at support. Right, buy its support. Now we are at a cross line of support here. We can say that, right? Out of all defense, so it's kind of in the mix, right? Trophy still in play. You guys know that. I want you to know that. I hit the wrong button, but it's still in play. So still at an indicated line of support. So yeah, we'll say that. Would like to see this kind of a feature here. See a nice double bottom. Bam, bam. That's nice, huh? Look at this minuscule little double bottom we have in here. It's there. It is, right? You can kind of see that. We can kind of make a double bottom out of that, yeah. But this is a nice double bottom. Bam, bam. Nice breadth, nice amplitude. This just, so, we may get some sort of a whip, I've gone from whipsaws to like people have whiplash, right, from trading. It's been tough, guys. It's been a lot of just aggressive price action to the downside when you got guys that are bulls. I mean, a lot of VIPs are just bulls. That's just it. We are. That's it. We like to slam into things. We like to help push price up. That's what we do. That's why we're in the market. We like higher prices. That's what we are. So when we see this type of a market, it is difficult, right? And it's been choppy enough. What was nice about this, bam, it slammed down. That was the move. Boom. Then it was the chop. Then it was the consolidation. Up. This has just been bam. Just etched in here. This kind of cleared things out earlier last year, mid last year, about May. Just bam. We got through a lot of this portion, right? This has just been, it's going to pick up. When we etch like this, we're in the mode where we believe that maybe it's going to reverse, right? It's going to show us something positive. So, reversal patterns. I was reviewing what's required technically of a reversal pattern earlier on for you guys. It's interesting, huh? The larger the pattern, okay? The larger the pattern, the larger the expectation. You guys know that. Just typically, that's just the typical there. So, as we would look into the pennant formation, this would lead us back up into exactly that level of cross resistance, okay? Identified. It would lead us up and out of this wedge. Okay, these patterns have been difficult. It's a large pattern. We can say that's a relatively large pattern. We'll give it that. Yeah, it is. It's about the same size as this pattern up along the top. Now, let's see. Let's go ahead and draw this into this previous pattern here. It's just like whichever. It's just inviting us continually to participate in trades that it just showed us didn't work out. Period, right? Like this falling wedge here. I didn't get excited about that one at all, okay? We were up against some resistances and in a very, very bearish formation here. So, but this falling wedge here, just triangulation, but it is a wedge, right? This wedge here, look at this, just bam to the upside and fall through, right? So we're in a similarly sized wedge right here. So we just failed one. And now we're being invited to trade another one. And in the context of that, in the context of the one that we're being invited to trade, it's going to require us to blast through this level of resistance, right? And we get there on the candle wicks, right? To the extent that we can sharpen that line up a little bit and potentially, depending on the time frame, that we have any cross indication or we have a counter, I'd say counter findings, etc. Any contradictions, right, of this specific line. If we want to drop these down, can we argue we're already up and out of that? We can, depending upon, and this is going to be the problem right now that we have with the line versus the candle. Different time frames are going to say you're out, you're in, you're out, you're in. They just are, right? So, for hourly, we're, it's close. It's just, I'm going to say it's close. Let's go to the daily. Let's go back to where we were and really get the scalpel out, right? Let's do this. On the daily, from here through to here, See that? This is the market has been doing this incessantly, without end. It's been doing this to us, guys. I have a hard time believing, I really have a hard time believing that we're intended on different time frames to establish different conclusions continually. I really have a hard time believing that the time frames are built for us to establish different conclusions literally on every trade on a different time frame. I really have a hard time believing that, guys. That we would not have more confirmation. We would not have more cohesion between the time frames, right? Or is it just, well, maybe you won't sometimes, and we have to sit that out. If we really want a high probability, we just have to sit that trade out, right? Because it's the trades with all the time frames just absolutely, in the green, right? Everything's saying yes, 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 yes. Those are the trades maybe that we want. These are the ones that become difficult, like on the hourly versus the 4 hourly versus the daily. Are we out of this specific resistance? Look, on the daily, we are absolutely on the purple line. We're absolutely underneath it. Yeah, we are within resistance. On the 4 hourly, let's see the 4 hourly. Let's see what we got on the 4 hourly. Let's clean this up and just do the two different time frames so we can see here. On the 4 hourly, let's go down into. Now this is going to be interesting. On the 4 hourly, don't worry about it. You're already up and out. Boom. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's like, should we really be receiving, like, contraindications or just the wrong message on every time frame on every trade, guys? Should we really? I mean, really? I don't know, guys. That's not really, you guys get it, right? But it's, maybe you're supposed to be patient. Maybe you're supposed to wait for all systems go on all time frames. Because right now we have a contraindication. I'm glad we're live for this. Incidentally, with some of the issues that we found up, like incorrect pricing, etc., I think it's a very important discussion to have to get that confirmation amongst the time frames. Up 2.4%, 42,824. Are you trading into the daily resistance? Yeah, you are. Absolutely. From the hit to the hit on the lines, right? No, hold on. On the daily, we're clear, right? Let me. The purple line is going to be the daily, okay? The purple line, yes, and in fact we are. We just removed that for the record, so that I haven't messed that up at all. When I get too many lines on here, it gets a little confusing. We will clarify this. I'll do a screenshot of this. Boom. Screenshot done. Daily, okay? And we'll even write this down. We'll do daily. Resistance. We are under resistance. Okay? Daily, under resistance. Okay? I'm going to do that right here. I'm going to tuck that in. I'm going to do a screenshot. Bam. Just so that we know. On the 4 hourly, we're going to take this line just so we can go through the decision that you're supposed to make with your money. On the 4 hourly, there we go. And we're drawing this from the peak pivot, right? The former all-time high down to this intermittent 52,676. And on the 4 hourly, we are not. On the 4 hourly, you see that? On the 4 hourly, on the dotted line, we're up and above it. We've already broken resistance. All right, let's do that. So, contraindicated 4 hour, we're above resistance. Okay. Now it's just, at some point it's like, well, we have to find we have to find the confirmation, right? This is just an example of what the market has been doing. For those who just don't pay attention to these things, just slam into the market, that's okay, you can do that. We look for the highest degree of probability that we can find, and when we find it, we expect better results, right? If it provides better results with contraindication and mixed messages, etc., that's not the type of market that, if we're provided incorrect pricing, that's not the type of. Pastor Tommy in the house. What is up, Pastor Tommy? Nice to see you, brother. Shout out to Pastor Tommy. Very good to see you, Tommy. Hey, very good to see you. So, we're talking about contraindications, the 4 hourly. 4 hourly, we're above the resistance. Bam. On the daily, we still have to get through the resistance, right? So, this is what the market has been doing. These are the signals that it's been providing the traders while we can confirm on the hourly time frame. On the hourly time frame, we can confirm the last like 15 to 16, certain patterns, on the breakout to the upside have frustrated. So we counted that. Let's just say that 15 out of 16 hits along the exponential moving averages. Okay, the 200 or the 100. Okay, the 200 would be this level. And let's go ahead and mark this up a little differently. You guys know the identifier here, the indicator. The trend is your friend, right? Trend is your friend. This is just a cool little deal. I like this indicator. It's real clear. It's easy to see. It's the 200 moving average. I changed it to the exponential moving average and the 100 exponential moving average. So, yeah, as we look at that, at the two lines, kind of the contraindications, we're up 2.41%, right? But are you within resistance? Are you above resistance? Have you broken through it? Are you not? I mean, have you not broken through it? It just, when you're dealing with different indications like that, it becomes, it becomes, I don't know. It really causes me to question whether or not that should be standard in terms of our being forced to operate against the logic of two of the three, or one of the three, or all of the three. Pardon me, guys. Time indications. We need confirmation. We need to see clearly. Especially when I brought up like the last stream. We need to see the correct pricing across the different time frames. And issues like this bring into question the entirety of it. And I don't want to dog the market. I don't want to do that. But I am going to, try and be responsible about the way I present the technicals, to the extent if I can, last stream I brought the incorrect pricing on AXS. That was one example. I can bring more on the charts, different time frames, incorrect pricing on the candles. Okay? So to the extent that other things like that exist, we need to point them out and be aware of them. I mean, if it's like well, that's a sucker trap, right? Be careful. We figured out that's a trap in the market. We know that markets are trappy, but if we can identify essentially how it's being done, yeah, we'll probably be the group that's smart enough to do that. I'll say that. So we will focus on that. Looks like that specific pennant is trying to play on Bitcoin. Ample up 18%. Love that. Rose up 19. Ample up 18. What is NEAR doing? Let's see what NEAR is doing. I want to see NEAR because I brought that to the community. I did. Then I got some major exposure after that. I'm glad to see that. Let's see. What a coin, huh? What an interesting technology. Needs to develop a little bit more. Absolutely. Phantom doing really well. Matic doing really well. Up Phantom up 15. Matic 12. Harmony 1 just being unbeatable, up 9%. MBOX Dot up 8. Luna back up just a bit. Let's see. Rose up 19. Rose has been unstoppable. Very nice. A lot of volatility though, right? It's been essentially, let's just look at this, that's 11 days or so. It's still underneath. It's, for the last 11 days trying to conquer that high. I'm about 45 cents, right? 45 cents. So I don't know. It's 45 cents. You can buy a lot of whatever's 45 cents though. So I guess that's the complication. So let's look back at Bitcoin. And go into the 5-minute chart. Looks like we're trying to break out of that notion of the specific pennant that we had established, we had drawn up. Now the pennant would have a bit more formation, as I would really be honest about it. It'd be this up, down, up, down. We would have a 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Potentially some more indications in terms of the hits. We would have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably, right? We can do it with 1, 2, 3. Is that a pennant? Depending upon those, let's see the indications. Let me get the scuba mask out. Let's go into, where is my scuba mask? Where is it? Hold on. Let's see here. There it is right here. Yeah, for a classic pennant, and we are, pardon, 1 second. Pardon me. Something in my throat. Excuse me. A little more coffee might help. As I look at this, as we look at the, we would anticipate that we'd have more than just a 1, 2, 3. Otherwise, we might just call that a, what we call just a zigzag, right? We call that just a standard zigzag. We're coming into contact with this level of resistance on the wedge formation. So this is kind of a big move for Bitcoin. On the hourly, let's go back to this specific line of resistance here, right? We also have the cross trend line, which is contraindicated on the 4-hourly versus the daily. Are we up and above it or not, right? So those are, on the daily, we are still within resistance. On the 4 hourly, we're above the resistance on that cross trend line, just to review real quickly. Okay? There we go. This cross trend line, resistance, right? Difficult place to trade into. If you're out over and above it, it'd be a nice trade to get a kind of a rebound effect off of, right? So that's a difficult contraindication to deal with. I'll just say that. But we will tuck it away in the just as that as a contraindication. So looking at the move to the upside, looking at the inverse head and shoulders will be the key feature in terms of the price action. Now it just failed an inverse head and shoulders in this region right here, okay? We just had a failure in this zone. Boom. Failure to achieve the inverse head and shoulders reversal pattern, okay? And we're currently in the process of trying to make good on what just failed. So that's essentially, and let's go ahead and measure out the target for this so that we can see exactly what the upside target would be. Let's go ahead and there we go. We would measure from the head to the neckline as always, bring that up, and we're looking at a potential move to the upside of 45,267. All right, so the pennant should get us, or can get us, the pennant can get us to 44,137. Looking for an additional percentage gain here of, what is it, guys? Another 5.18%, another 5% tacked on would be nice to get us rolling in January. Just would be something 45,000. You know, I know we were just at 70,000, so 45,000 is kind of like, can we get back to 45? Don't want to, get too excited about 45,000. Like we would like to establish a trend. That's really what I'm looking for now, or a consolidation pattern that we can count on. If it's a hit and miss, this one failed, this one fooled you, this one won't. That's not necessarily what we're going to talk about the bull pennant. We're going to talk about the falling wedge, but it's like, if it's a market that, hey, this one failed you, this one won't. Really? Okay. I mean, I guess if you want, if you're gonna take 50-50, if you got 50-50, then that'd be great, right? If you got a 50-50 shot, that's fine. Would be looking forward to that. Okay, that'd be great. No problem. Let's see what we got. All right, up 3% to 43,038. Looks like that pennant is working. I mean, we need to clear, let's look at this. This is just a matter of fact. We need to clear this level right in this area, prior resistance, right? And we have, let's go ahead and draw a triangle. We'll do just a zone in here. This is going to be a key feature for us to get up above. Anytime you're dealing with any kind of prior resistance to the left, right, we're going to need to clear that zone, okay? So always look left. Always identify your prior resistances, okay? Not to be timid of them or afraid, etc. But if you're dealing with this one didn't work out, this one's going to, right? Kind of mentality, Took your cash here, won't take it here, right? Because this was a breakout, right? That was a breakout. This one, it's like, okay, let's see where we have landed on this. The curvature is the one thing that the price has going for it, right? Notion of a kind of a double bottom with some curvature to it. It's just been, what would you say, guys, continual in terms of like bullish patterns, reversals, etc. Haven't been playing out real well. So I'd love to see Bitcoin go up 6-7%. That'd be great. That would be a start in my book right now. That would just be a start. I'll just say that. Double bottom, I mean, yeah. It's got a nice breadth to it, right? It does. Not a whole lot of amplitude to it, but this has some breadth to it here and some amplitude right here, right? The feature of the falling wedge would be crucial, right? It would be crucial. So I guess to the extent that we experience a breakout of the falling wedge, should we just gear up and just gangbuster in? Should we go 5L Bitcoin and just get ready for a 50-yard field goal? Should we do it? You guys tell me, huh? You tell me, huh? Is this the critical turnaround for Bitcoin? Is it the critical turnaround, huh? Do we gear up, huh? 5L? Just hammer into it, huh? We have that cross trend line of resistance here. And that's an unwelcome feature, I have to tell you. On the 4 hourly versus the daily, right here, resistance. you know, tucked underneath on the daily, still underneath resistance. On the 4-hourly, we're free and clear. Clear on the 4-hourly. So which one is right? Well, I guess they're both correct. We can go to the candles to resolve that issue, and we wind up with a completely different line. And we are out on the candles. All right? So we are out on the candles. Let's look here. Be prepared for this line to play a role in today's events. My neighbor came down and asked me, shout out to my neighbor. He's Russian. Varuski izvinichi. What's going on? So the Russian contingent. He's a cool guy. He's a Russian guy. He always asks me, he's like, such and such, is it going up? I say, you need to go, you go take that class from the New York Institute of Finance. You stop asking people that question. Because he asked me, it's going to go up, it's going to go down. Something else the other day, I said, it's going to go down. I said, then it's going to go up. Like in crypto, what's the safest thing? Well, it's going to go down and it's going to go up. But I told him that the other day. I said, so did you get that thing? He says, no. He says, no, unfortunately. He says, it went down. I said, I told you it was going to go down. He says, I know. I want to buy some now. It was just funny. We have it's a good icebreaker, right? That's funny. So as we would look at this, let's talk about this other line of resistance that we have, another cross line of resistance, right? Internal, I'd say internal line of resistance. That held and got kind of messy around that area. But, yeah, we do have this additional line of resistance to get back up above. Don't want the chart to look too much, right? So, you know, is this the wedge? Is this the one? What do you guys think? You guys tell me, huh? This wedge was not the one. It was not the one. Big time entries. Bam, 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 bam. Boom, 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 boom. Didn't work out well. Did not work out well. Congrats to everybody trading Matic. 13% today. Nice if you're trading. Way to go. Very, very nice. Rose 20%. Ample 17%. Phantom 16%. Matic 1. Hey, cool. Dot up 9. 5L nice. You can cover the spread on 10% on the order book. We'll see, guys. So that's the question of the day. That's why we are literally streaming right now, is to go over this notion that this would be the up and out and we are gone for good. Did the Fed decision do it today? Did that answer all the questions? Are we ready to go? We're ready for 2022. It's time. Bitcoin, it's time for it to go up. It's settled in at $40,000. Last time it was $30,000. You guys know on the daily, it was, wasn't it? $30,000 was the ticket, right? We did just dip underneath that 40,000, like we dipped underneath the 30, didn't we? Interesting. So, the question will be, is this going to be the turnaround? It was 30,000 here. Sorry for the brief break here. Just a little coffee on the side. So we had this zone. Copy that, guys. We had the zone. We caught this in the back. Boom. Ascending triangle. Never forget it. Shout out to Julian. Julian, what's up? Julian knows. He's like, yeah, I was there. So, let's see what we got. We called this drop too. That's cool. 2.78%. So this was at $30,000. Just hammered in. Carved. The difference is this, guys. We are so carved in here. We were just carved in for 60 days, was it? Come on. What was this? 62, 63, 60, 65 days, right? Well, let's do this. Let's do the entirety of this level here, if you count the entirety of this range. So if we just count the essentially all of the time spent along 30,000, we were there for, and I'll do that just along 30,000, not within this entire range. 64 days. Now we have been here at 40,000. Instead of 65 days, we've been here for 5 days. So 65 days versus 5 days. Bitcoin wants to get up and out after 5 days, and that's the support. I am all for it. 100%. I love the idea. It's just fantastic. It really is, huh? Tommy, what do you think, huh? I'm not sure we know. Don't know. Did you watch the Fed tape today? I have no idea why the market liked what the Fed said today. Well, what'd they say? They said, well, employment's going very well. However, not enough people are participating in employment. I'm like, well, okay. Like the employment figures look great. However, not enough people are really participating in employment. I was like, oh, okay, good. That's good, huh? Oh, so things are looking great, huh? The stock market needs to go up now. Bam. That's funny. I was like, okay, whatever. It is probably the less sense that it made, the market probably liked it, huh? Maybe. We didn't think about that. The less sense that it made, the market probably liked it, huh? Oh, these guys are going to fix inflation. Sure. You know, it's like, maybe that's why Bitcoin is up. The guy got up there, the Fed chair got up there, he made no sense at all, huh? How is he going to fix inflation? He's not, huh? Well, let's put our money in Bitcoin. Maybe that's what's happening right now in the market. Hadn't thought of that. Worth exploring, huh? We got to talk about that stuff. That's a good angle, huh? I think everyone we can understand that, huh? The Fed got up, he made no sense at all. So how is a guy like that and a group like that going to tackle inflation? They're not. They're not. That's the point, huh? So maybe Bitcoin just became the new go-to weapon again. What do you guys think? It took me a while to get to that conclusion. Could have been on the edge of my, the tip of my tongue there, probably right off the bat. I wasn't looking to being that fault finding right off the bat, but I guess that made sense. The Fed got up there, he made no sense in anything that he said, and he's sitting there telling people he's going to fix inflation. So how is that not going to? I mean, is he capable? Are they capable of fixing inflation? I don't think so. Personally, I don't think so. Let's do this. Let's invert this. Whoa. Nice. I love inverting my price. Isn't that great? I love doing that. I started doing that, then some other people started doing it. I'm like, what are you doing? That's my trick with TradingView. Off. Down. All right, so we're running into very important level. Very important level. The level that we're running into is this specific. I'm going to do this like hot pink, bubblegum pink, so we can't miss it. Ba-boom, boom. All right? This level, man. You see that level? If we can flip the script on that, that's going to be exciting, huh? That'd be impressive, wouldn't it? Because that's the 200. The 200 moving average. Exponential, huh? I mean, I can see Bitcoin going up like 5%, something like that. That'd be fine. Would love that. You see this curvature right here? We see this rising wedge? Yeah, now when we look at it as a rising wedge, it seems differently, right? That's nice. I like to do that. I like to flip, invert the scale, right? Because I can say, well, none of the falling wedges have worked. They just haven't. Well, then I do what? Well, then I flip it. We flip, we invert the price scale, bam, right? Now I'm ready, huh? This thing's never going to hold. It's one of my biases, right? It's a bias I have. So I invite you guys to look at your biases in the market. Right on. Are you more bearish or bullish on a rising or falling wedge? Well, flip it, invert the scale, bam, test yourself. Because a rising wedge, I look at all the time. Oh, I'm not going to do that. No way, huh? You're going to put your money in for this to go up? No, it's bearish, right? Well, guess what? It's bullish. Ba-boom. Right on. Right on. So now we see that. So who in the crowd is going to trade? You guys tell me what is the name of that tune. You guys going long? I'd like to see that. Shout out to everybody listening. Shout out to the VIP in the house, guys. Incredible 2021. Our VIP are rocking, dude. You have to know that. I just have to let you guys know. Look at this. Let's see. Look at what's he doing? What's he doing? This kid knows how to trade. What's up? Jay-Z in the house. Look at that. Nice truck, dude. That's like industrial style, huh? Yeah. Very nice. So, good trader, guys. Good trader, period. We only want good traders. We don't want bad traders. Yeah, guy knows how to also. It's like he's in a position, that's it, boom, hit stop loss, next. Big deal. Market maker wants to take this, next. Like, that's nice. I like that. Beavis, Dojolio. Cool, man. What's up, Beavis? What's up? Is this like... I haven't watched that in a long time, huh? It's dating you with your age, huh? Giving you your age away. But yeah, big Beavis Doge Holio. That's fine. That's your. If you can trade, you can name yourself almost anything. Let's go to the 5 minute. Let's see if this how this is doing. Yeah, that's what I figured we'd get into a little bit of complication like this. You guys know the carry up feature and function of any wedge, etc. Ba-boom. Right? Expect something like this. There we go. Close. From the line to the candle, etc. However, you're going to, when you trade these a lot, you start looking at them a lot. It's like, yeah, okay, it's going to carry up to the actual candle here from the line drawn here. Carry up to the line. So you'll carry up from the line to the line. It'll express it on the candle. They just play up that way. Just real micro moves, right? So we are at, let's dig into, you guys saw you guys saw that, right? When I have to tell you that this, you get, whoever trades into the resistance and wins, I'm going to tell you, Tesla, you know, it's going to have your name on it. You're going to have the moon, Bitcoin, I'm going to put your name on it, and everything else is going to be yours. It's going to be cool, huh? You guys trading the resistance, it's going to be a hot new deal. NFTs, they could be worth millions, huh? My neighbor just told me, he's Russian, he just tells me he's going to make millions of dollars. You guys know that? He's going to make millions of dollars. Like, well, that's, shout out to Raheem. I didn't know that. I honestly didn't know that. I'm excited for him, period. You guys laugh. I wouldn't laugh. People making a lot of money in NFTs, huh? That specific one may be yours if you guys trade it into the resistance. You trade into the resistance and conquer, huh? And win. Now, what would make us shy of an Ember's Head and Shoulders? Come on. I mean, come on. Everybody's like, come on, London, don't be so down in the market. Come on, man. Just trade. Just hammer in 5L. There you go. 5 long. Inverse. It's reversal. Yeah. Except what? Well, we had an inverse reversal right here. I'm all about catching the pattern, guys. I'm all about it. I love it. However, when we have this one that broke out, right? They take the bank. Boom. Right now we're here. Well, I mean, that's what I'm asking. Is it time? Is this the moment? Is the moment now, right? We have to ask ourselves, is this the moment? Huh? I'm being serious. You guys may think I'm hyperbolizing or something. Is this the reversal moment for Bitcoin? Is it? Is it the time now? Did the Fed meeting today, did it take away all of the questions? Are we done? We're back into business, the January effect. We're going to expect a strong January in equities, etc. Bitcoin is back. It's up 2.45%. It's at $42,845. And this is the moment. It's all going to turn around right now with this pattern. Is that what we're looking at? I would flip it. I would invert the scale. Pardon me with the coffee. I would invert the scale and say, you know what? You know what? I would not buy. I would not go long on a rising wedge like that. Why? Because it's going to pour out of here. It's going to want to pour out to the downside, I would say, but I flipped it, right? I want to test my predisposition. What are my biases in the market, right? I wouldn't buy that. I'm not going to buy that. Maybe just a little, give me some more action up in this zone. We've got the resistance, support to the resistance, right? So, and that looks like a difficult pattern to beat, right? I back up a little bit here. Like, okay, well that's troublesome too, maybe, huh? Because we had another rising wedge feature here, and boy, it got beat, didn't it? So that's happening with both the rising wedge feature that we're looking at here. And it's also happening in what? In the Head and Shoulders. You guys are paying attention? The truth, huh? Both contraindicated. You guys check. You guys understand that? Rising wedge, really a falling wedge, failed, right? And we're in another falling wedge. Want to trade it? You see what's going on, guys. Pay attention. Pay attention. You'll learn something, I promise. I promise. You'll be informed of the market. Here, falling wedge, failed. Boom. Falling wedge. What are we going to do? Well, we just failed that one. Trade this one. Should we throw at it? Why? Because just like that, the 1-2 punch, right? The 1-2 2 punch, right? You're gonna, well, the first one didn't work out. Well, just trade the second one. Maybe. You see? Falling wedge, fail, boom.